Now, there is some breaking news coming in on this story. The Bajrang Dal activists have protested against Pakistan in Jammu last evening. They paid tribute to the soldiers of the Kokarnag encounter. They also demanded that tough steps be taken against terrorism and Pakistan. So this is a protest that took place yesterday evening. We're crossing over to CNN News 18's Ishan Wani, who's been tracking the developments in this tragic story. Ishan, not such a good morning when we have to report about a story like this. But right now, what the breaking input is about a protest that's taking place. It took place last evening by the Bajrang Dal. Can you tell us more about the protest?
Well, yes, it happened in Jammu last night, where a large number of these activists came on the streets and they protested and raised slogans against Pakistan for these deaths which have taken place here in Kokarnag. I'll take you straight to the latest from the ground, where behind me my Vijay Bashir Loan will show you that a large number of security force personnel, Indian Army, special teams and J&K police have been deployed. This is a remote area in Kokarnag where this operation yesterday unfolded. There were inputs with the security forces about the presence of militants in the vicinity, and that's when the operation was launched, where senior officers were leading from the front, including the commanding officer of the 19 Rashtra Rifles. This colonel, a major and a J&K police's DSP, who was the operational in charge in this part of Kashmir Valley, were injured. It took a very long while to actually move them from this locality because it's a difficult terrain. My VJ will now show you these are the mountains which are where this action is unfolding. We don't want to give out any operational details, but right now what we are seeing here on the ground is that a mobilization of troops has happened. Some teams have gone into these mountains to track them down because we've seen that complete modus operandi has changed, where now militant outfits are operating from the mountain range and they are trying to operate from these locations. We have seen such incidents taking place in Rajouri and Poonch, and similar incidents are now unfolding in Kashmir as well. But so many casualties being taken by the army, is something which we haven't seen in a very long time. These are the mountains that can give you an idea that how steep the terrain is and how difficult it gets for the forces to climb up there. But yesterday there were specialized mountain teams which were deployed in the vicinity because there were sources, according to sources, one of the bodies of the army officer was there, and to take it down, forces had deployed multiple teams. Now the operation, as we say, that the entire search area has been cordoned, and what we also know is that it's not easy for them to conduct this operation. One, because of the terrain being high. Second, because this is a challenging area. There is forest cover, and the enemy would know the area better because they have been staying there and they have been there. They know how to move around the area tactically, and that's why those teams of the forces have been deployed, which are very well aware of how to climb on the mountain terrains and cliffs, because this being a remote area, that's why forces are taking maximum precaution, because the casualties that have been taken, as I said earlier, we haven't seen that happening in a very long time, because there was a peace in Valley. The government was talking about it, that how they have been able to put an upper hand on the situation and how the situation has been brought under control. Yes, this will be something which the forces would not want to have in the future, and that is where the learning will be taken. Yes, there were senior officers who were taking charge from the front, including the DSP of the operation, Humayun Bhatt of J&K Police, the Indian Army Colonel, the Major, who have laid down their lives here in Kokarnag. One has to see that, how long does this operation carry on, because since yesterday, when the input was received, there were multiple teams of army which were deployed in this area. They are still there. They are trying to chase them down, but one has to see that how long does it take. Now, important question here also is that how many of these militants are present in this area, because this is an area which is not far from where the Jammu starts. We have seen that there has been a large focus of these outfits in Jammu, Rajouri, Poonch, and that is why we are seeing today that this operation taking place in the mountainous area. As you see on your screens, that there are army teams looking at those mountains where the operation is taking place, and there were yesterday we saw helicopters dropping multiple teams of security force personnel who are deployed, who are specialized in this entire carrying out this entire operation. And then We also saw that evacuation happening through helicopter. There's a large ground near this particular area where I'm reporting from, where the forces are, going in and out of this particular area. There's a large mobilization of troops that has been made. We have seen that mountains being used by the militant outfits from some time in Jammu, particularly Rajouri, Poonch area, and that seems to be now true for the Kashmir Valley as well, where now this encounter is happening. I'll just, we'll see that how long does it take for the operation to conclude, because as of now the operation is going on and forces have been deployed in the area to ensure that the cordon is kept intact and the militants do not escape from the vicinity.
Absolutely. Ishan, do stay with us. We have some more breaking news coming in right now, which we're going to be taking a look at.